Okay, let's start. So this is there's going to be a lot of techniques in here, and if there's any problems that you have, then just pause it and go back. So let's start with making the torso. So we're going to start with a torso by doing 8 subdivision access and 4 subdivision height on a cylinder. So create a cylinder. You can see it's right there in the middle there. And we're going to go over here, change the 8 subdivision access and 4 subdivision height. All right, go over here. And now I'm scaling up. And remember that all of these tools are going to be used over and over and over again. So by the time you get done with this video, you will have gone through all of the tools repeatedly. So you'll know exactly how to use them. So let's go forward. Let's see here. Okay, so we have that. And all right, so we're going into our vert mode, and then I'm scaling those in, I'm moving them up, and I'm rotating them. As you can see, trying to get this so that it's matched up here. You don't have to be super crazy exact, but we do want to, keep with our image plane. That's why it's there. And also on the image plane, you're going to want to, if you're doing the front view, don't move it like this. There's no reason to do that. We just want to move it up and down like that because that keeps it symmetrical. And the same here, we want to move it forward and backward and up and down. So it works like that. All right. And then we want to scale left and right. And over here, we have that one selected. So we're good there. And we're just going to push and pull a lot of these verts, and that's, basically we're going to do the whole time. These, hello there, Newt. It can be a little bit of a tedious process, but, and this is not the only way to model a character. It's just the way that I've learned. But I do find that that one of the reasons why this class is all based in polys is that if you can't model something in polys, you can't sculpt something in ZBrush or Mudbox. All right, so let's see how these guys look so far. Probably going to want to move this guy up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I have a reference video that I'm doing as we're going through this so that I can make sure that I'm showing you guys everything. So if I'm pausing a little bit, it's because I'm looking at my reference video. And so the reason that some of these are going forward and some are going backward is that we're trying to follow the flow of the body. All right. And this one, okay. All right. Okay, so now you remember how we extruded things? We're going to extrude these top faces here. Select all those top faces, deselect that one, Control E, this little dude, bring it on up. So it's up, and then over here we're going to scale that in, right like that. Over there, go over here. So the main thing you'll also notice is that we're going back and forth over here, and then on this side, we're going to use this a lot more when we get later on. But you can model things from the front and from the side, but then you need the perspective view in order to see diagonally and other elements to it. So we have that. And also notice I'm not selecting individual verts. I'm just selecting that whole edge loop so that things are as symmetrical as possible. There'll be plenty of time to select individual verts later. And remember to save frequently. There's my guard dogs. All right, so I want to select this neck because the neck needs to be a little bit thinner. There we go. As you can see, make his neck a little bit thinner. So I double click on that edge loop and then I can move that around at will. Actually, I'm just going to select all of these verts up here. She wants to go outside. There's some friends that are out there. All right, so that's good enough. Okay, let's add a cut here. So with that, we're going to go Shift and multi-cut. I'm going to hold down Control and then click right there, and that adds another edge loop. So let's go into our vert mode, move these guys down. There we go. Oh, I missed one over there. And things are looking pretty good. Looks like a nice torso. Okay, so we have the beginning of our torso. Now we're going to start with the arms. All right, so save it. And the arms are going to be 6 subdivisions axis and 6 subdivisions height. So I go over here, I create, polygon primitive, cylinder, polycylinder 6, 6. We're not dealing with any of the caps just yet. That's going to be for the face. Okay. And I scaled that in, move that up a little bit. You can also click over here and move these guys up if you want just a little bit more room. All right. Sometimes you have to keep going back and forwards. All right, so I'm going to rotate that a little bit. Put this little guy over there, right around where the elbow is, and then move this back a little bit. Okay. And over there, make it a little bit bigger for his arm. Okay, now I want to rotate the arm over here, go into poly mode, select this over there. Now I have just those selected. I can hold down D. This changes the center point, and I can move that straight up a little bit. And now that I moved the center point with those selected verts, I can press E for rotate, and I can rotate those objects or those verts with a new center point. And let's see here. I want to put these guys down a little bit more. So I'm going to move that down a little bit. I know, Newt. Oh, there's people out there that you want to see. Okay, so now we have to start pushing and pulling. And we're not going to be pushing and pulling, remember, single verts right now. We're going to be doing a couple of these guys at a time because we want to keep the symmetry going. So I'm going to go along here, move these couple guys along. No, that's not exactly where I want it. I'll bring that down about over there. How about that? Yeah, that's good over there. And how's that look? Maybe over there. And this guy, that's pretty good there. Actually, okay. Oh. All right. Some things are starting to show up. That's looking good on the side, not looking good over there because there's a lot of thickness that we're missing. And I'm going to save that. All right. Now, also, we're going to want to change some of these edge loops and give them a little bit of a different angle. And the reasoning for this is the way the muscles work. That one works good that way. Okay, now let's start working on these guys up here. So we have this one selected. I'm going to scale that out a little. Move it in. Make sure I have all of them. Scale that out. Move it in a little bit. That top one we're going to get rid of anyways. Next one. Move that out. This wrist is going to cause some issues. Cool. All right. Now, if you look at that, check it out. We're already starting to feel that that is a real arm right there. Now, when you're doing this, you really have to go back and forth, look at your object and look at your reference. And like I've seen some people that were modeling characters, and they're like, that's good enough. But really develop your exactitude to how you're modeling something. This is where if you have the slightest bit of obsessive compulsive disorder, it's very handy. And I don't like throwing around terms like that. Because in extreme cases that it can be quite debilitating. But in reality, what I'm saying is that you just have to have a really good sense of details, and you don't want to be slack or lazy. So let's go forward and see what else we're doing here. So we have that guy going. Right, so okay, now that's the basic for our arm. Oh, so I'm going to save that. Now we're going to create the basic leg. Polygon primitives, cylinder. All right, so our basic leg is going to be 8 subdivision axis and 6 subdivision height. 8 and 6. I think I might have gotten one of those wrong. I always change it. The neat thing about this is that, like, I remember working at one company and seeing a guy create a character model in about 10 minutes. It was insane, albeit quite simple. Like, we're going to go into a little bit more depth over here, but it was really neat just how he could create that object. And here I thought at the time, being an environment artist, I was like, oh my gosh, that's creating a character. That's so crazy. It's so difficult. And as Yoda said, oh no, only difficult in your mind. All right. Okay, so again, we are scaling and moving and rotating and all of these same actions over and over again. Okay. Okay, so now let's go over here with this one and let's start moving stuff around. It's obvious that we're going to have to add some more subdivision axes. That's all right. It's a good way to start anyways. All right, and again, some of these guys have to be rotated just a little bit in order to work together with the musculature. That works best up like that. And then this one works great like this. Alright, so you see right there, I undid that because I moved some other verts that I didn't want to. Okay, there we are. Keep adding. That looks good. Okay. All right, I'm going to add another one along here. So doing a multicut, holding down control, and there's our knee. So I was right, I needed another one. I know, Newt, your friend is out there. All right, and then let's do an ankle right down here. Move that down just a little. And so we'll do another multi-cut over there, one down control, and then selecting that, and like so. All right, so now that looks really cool via the front. Looks totally whack on the side. I know, Newt, I'm sorry. So looking cool over there. So now we need to go over here and play around with the side. Let's move around. Now you can also, if you don't want to go back and forth, I can press the space bar over here, and that should. Oh, there we go. Now we should be able to look at it just like that. But in general, I like the 3 perspective view when modeling characters. Take those guys away. I know. she's outside. Right, and then in this window, just press the space bar once and we'll get back over here. So now we have some legs that are looking really quite good. And the arm's looking pretty good, so we have a good, strong beginning to our character. And let's see how we're doing here. And I do want to make sure that the knee is rotated down just a little bit. Okay. So there we are. The knee is rotated down. This one should be rotated down a little bit also. I think that we might want this one to be up a little bit like that too, for the musculature, like I said before. All right, so now we have the basic body like that. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut this torso in half. Oh, we're not going to do that because we have to slice it down the middle. Well, that's unusual. How did he get like that? It must have been rotated a little strangely. So we're looking. All right, so that's a strange anomaly. I don't know how that happened. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these guys here, this whole middle thing, and then I'm going to hold down X, and then I'm going to, oh, okay, there's an interesting thing. So you notice how when I move it like this, these guys still maintain their component spacing. If I double click over here on the move, then I go over to move snap setting. Oh, we got to take that off. So undo that. And then here, retain component spacing should be turned off. I'm just going to scale that in because I don't know why that's changing. All right, so there is the start of our character, and I'm going to take a little pause here and see if everything's good. Be right back. All right, so I'm back after a short little break here. So the thing I was noticing before, this is a good thing to learn, is if you are we want the symmetry. Remember, this is all about symmetry. We're going to mirror the right side and the left side. If you have some verts that are off a little bit like that, what you can do is you can select this whole row of verts. I want to add this, and you can move it like that. But if you hold down X, you can snap to snap all of them together. However, sometimes you'll run into this really annoying thing here. Retain component spacing. So if retain component spacing is turned on, you'll notice that when I go like this and I move it over here, and then I click over here, and then I hold down X, it's going to keep it all together. Retain component spacing is um, is useful in some regards and sometimes not. So if you have something like that, you want to click that off over there, and this is the options for the move tool. Double click on it, it brings up the move tool. Then you hold down X, and then you can move it along, snapping on the onto the grid. So X is snapping onto the grid, and V snaps onto another vert. But we're not going to deal with snapping onto a vert until a second. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to delete half of this guy. It's deleted. There we go, just like that. And let's see where we're at here. Okay, so half of it is deleted. We can, but let's also go in here and combine all these things together. So we'll take that, this one, this one, this one. We have them all selected. We go up to mesh and combine. So everything is all one. Let's also delete all of our history over there. Edit, delete by type, history, all deleted. Excellent. Let's also delete these caps. So we'll go over here, hold down tab, and that selects all of them like painting. Delete. Select this top one over here, tab, delete. Under here, tab, delete, tab, delete. This is a real great way to practice. Tab, delete, because you just keep doing these things over and over again. F, tab, delete. All right, so our caps are all deleted. Right now we should be working on the shoulder. Okay, see my reference. All right, I think what we're going to do is that we're going to delete this top one over here. This one is a little bit of a tricky one. So when you're UVing a character, you have to have things kind of set up in a pretty standard way. You'll notice how we have like these guys all along here, these guys along here, these guys there, etc. And going all along the back. You have to have some semblance of order to the object. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this top part here. Now this shoulder can get a little bit weird to model, so as per my reference, and I'm going to take this edge loop there, and I'll move that down. Let's see what it looks like on the side. So there's that. Okay, so we're working on the shoulder here. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this shoulder right here, and then we're going to extrude that out. So follow me closely on this. I click that thing to the right, move that guy over there. There's a reason to this madness. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to vert mode, select this guy, and so here's where I have that selected, and I hold down V, and then I move it to that one. Now when I'm moving this guy over here, I am selecting that one like this, and I press W, and then I hold down V, And instead of holding onto one of these, I don't do that. I hold on right into the middle. I click right in the middle and I move it over there. Vert snapping can be a tricky thing for some people to get. If, say, for instance, I take this, I hold down V, I can hold onto this axis, and now I can snap just to the axis of the vert that I'm over. And I could also do the same here, hold down V and snap to the vertex, to the axis that I'm over. But I don't want to do that. I want to snap it to that vert, so I go right there, click right on it with V selected, and there we go. Okay, getting there. All right, so let's go under here. Now, this is where your ability to navigate around the viewport is really important. So you have to be able to zoom in and out, do whatever. I'm going to go into face mode. I'm going to delete these two guys right in the armpit. So delete that. And then I'm going to move in these verts over here for the shoulder. Let's look at him over here. That's good for now. So let's see here. Okay, so now I want to go down here, looking up under his arm. I'm going to go into edge mode, double click that edge mode, and I have the whole edge selected. I want to move that a little bit more to the right so it's right under the arm. A little bit, just like that. I want to move this edge just a little bit over so it's a little bit more in line. And then I want to move these two verts down just a little bit. Like I said, this is only one way how to do this stuff. But the important thing is just to start in one way. And once you get the hang of how to model an object in one method, then modeling it in other methods is going to be a whole lot easier because you've had success and you can play off that success of modeling it once. Okay, now here is an interesting tool. I'm going to see if we can get this to work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes one of the reasons why it doesn't is because the verts are not snapped. So let's move this one over just a skosh, like that. All right, so here we go. We're going to select that edge, and let's hope it works. I'm going to select that edge, and then there we go, and hold down Shift, and then go to Bridge. There we go. So what that does is that takes and creates a bridge from one edge to another edge. That is only one way of doing it. And we'll do it to the other side. I'll show you another way to do it. So let's see. Okay. I don't want to do that just yet. I actually want to take this edge and I want to bevel it. I want to add some extra stuff. So if I go bevel, I should be able to move it. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. So I've added some more edge loops. Okay. Okay, so good. Okay, so what we want to do here this edge, move it a little forward. All right. So I'm going to select this edge over here, this edge over there, shift, right click, bridge. There we go. Then I'm going to take this edge over here and this edge over here, shift, right click, and now see that bridge didn't work. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So if something like that doesn't work, it's probably due to some verts that are not merged. Now here's the other way to do it. If that bridge is not working, press Control E for extrude. Now you've extruded that that edge. Go into wireframe, select that vert, click on that one, move it to where you want to go over here, click on that one, and snap it to where you want it to go. Now, the only problem with this is that we have those moved, but these guys are not snapped, so you can run into some little problems there. Easy way to fix this is to merge the verts, and this is an important thing to do now and again. So let's click on this dude there, and then we're going to go to delete our history. So let's go to edit, delete by type, history. Then let's go over here, edit mesh, merge, option box, and we want to put 0.1 as the threshold. That usually works the best. And now if we look at these guys, go into vert mode, they are together as one. Huzzah. Let's save it. Now it's about time, actually. You know, we've done a fair amount of work here. Let's save it as an increment. So we have bodybuilder, new bodybuilder. We're going to go new bodybuilder _1, and that way we have one that we can go back if we need to revert. So let's also go in here and fix some of these lats. Bring that over. Side. There we go. As they say in Italian, poco poco, ma non troppo. No, poco poco, ma non troppo. Okay, little by little, not too fast. All right, so our shoulders. Let's add another. Let's add another edge loop here. Multi-cut, Control, and then click. All right, so with that, we have another one there. You take this guy, and now we hold down V and snap them over. Should do that to the front. Click on that guy, hold down V, snap it over there. Now we have that triangle edge over there. And so let's go over here. We're going to multi-cut this one over there. Cut that. And so I cut that. Click there, multi-cut. Click right in the middle. Ooh. Let's put that over there like that. that. Okay, so now let's look at this guy. Let's move some of these shoulder pieces up a little bit more so they conform more to the shape. All right, see, that's starting to look really cool. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Okay, let's get a another cut back here. Multi-cut. Click on that one. Click over there. Okay. Let's pull that out a little. Press back into F10. Save that. All right. So let's also cut one over here, multi-cut, right over there. And let's bring that out a little. Bring the chest up a little. Okay. So on the right side, we're going to want to have a nice UV section that just goes straight up the shoulder. So we're going to have to do a couple little weird things going on here. We can do multi-cut, cut over there, cut over there, cut over there. And then go edge, delete that one, edge, and delete that one. And then go multi-cut over here, down to there, and up to here. And then multi-cut from over here to over there. Trust me, there's a reason behind this. And then edge, delete that one, delete that one. And delete that one, and delete that one. And then we move these guys up. All right. And then we move this guy out. Just like those guys. Okay, there we go. Cool, let's look around here, check out some of the verts. Everything should be nicely connected. The underarm is an important thing to do because do well because it can, if you don't do it right, when you lift the arm up, it can get stretched in a strange way, and you certainly don't want to see that. And this guy, these guys I think should go down a little. All right. Save that. Oop. Okay, so we have some verts that are not totally snapped, so I'm going to go over here and edit, delete by type, history, and then I'm going to merge. Make sure I'm at 0.1, merge, go back into vert mode, and move that up a little. I want to move this guy up. And then I want to move this guy down. That follows certain kind of musculature. All right, it's starting to look good. All right, so it's looking pretty good. That bicep, though, I think that should come out just a little bit. But we'll have time to fiddle around with a little bit more later. Let's add another edge loop down here. Multi-cut and control and click. And add another edge loop over here. F10. There we are. Oh, where does that come from? I don't remember a disk being created. Right, it's gone. Save it. All right, so having things looking pretty sweet, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this from one side to the other. So we have to make sure that everything is right along that center line. Select everything along the center line there. And X, put it along the center line. There we go. All right, that's done. Now I'm going to change the center point, and I'm going to hold down D for affecting the center point, and V for a snap divert. So I go over there, and now we are on that location. So we're going to duplicate special, and then we're going to do this as an instance. So I go over to, let's see here, which one is it? Is it that? Nope, it's not. It's this. Duplicate special. So it's under Edit, Duplicate Special, and the option box. And we have it on Instance, not Copy, and Parent, and Translate, and 0000, scale is X. So we're going to have it flip along this axis. So we want to have a -1 scale on that. So duplicate special, click, there you go. Now yours might have shown up with all of the faces as black. If that's the case, select that side, go over to Edit Mesh, and I think, no, it should be normals. Flip, reverse. That'll reverse it. But we don't want to do that here because all the normals are set up right. So let's look at the back here. We can see that there's something a little bit weird with that neck, but we don't have to be super crazy exact. You also notice that when I click on this, that the other side moves as well, and that's because it's an instance. So if I went and I selected these guys and I went like this, whoa, look at that. It's crazy. All right, save that. Let's look this back. Let's move these guys down a little. We generally want to have a lot of even spacing. You don't want to have things bunched up when you're doing it as verts, as polygon modeling. It'll make it look better in a lot of regards. Also, if we go into subdivs, you can see how nicely smooth it's already getting. We still have a lot more to do in order to get some good musculature to show through. I'm going to select all these guys and make them soft. So in order to do that, you go to, it should be surfaces, nope, it's not. Mesh display, soften edge. There we go. So now we don't have everything quite as hard. That'll give us a little bit more of an accurate idea of what it is we're trying to do. Start pushing and pulling some of these verts. Okay, that's looking better. Look a little bit more pictorial-like. Let's actually move these guys down. Okay. So that one's stuck in there just a little bit more than I care to see. All right, there we go. Let's see how he looks if we do there. All right, starting to look a little bit more human-like. Okay. All right, let's look at his neck. This guy has kind of a funny neck. It's a little like a gooseneck. I actually had to fix it up a little bit because it looked a little too strangely forward. There we go. Get this ready for the head. Okay. Cool. All right, check it out. It's covering his musculature pretty well. Now let's look at what it looks like. Subdivs again. Now we can do a little bit of modifying, playing with the subdivs here, but be wary though when you move things around too much, because if you do, things can get a little strange when you look at them outside of subdivs. So that should probably be safe enough to modify. Okay, I think we're done with the upper body for now. All right, so now let's go forward and let's do the hips. This is going to be interesting. First, we start out with the edge loop. I double clicked on it, but I got more than I wanted. So I'm going to deselect those guys and just have that single edge loop there. And I'm going to extrude it and click on that guy there, bring it down. Oop, I want to go into turn off subdiv mode and move it down here. All right, so let's look at that from the side. I'm going to move that guy in just a little bit over there, and then move this guy out. Bring it down actually pretty far. We're going to be cutting some edge loops here eventually. Okay. Okay. So now with that going, let's hide this guy. And we're going to take the front and the back. We're going to bridge that. Oh, there's new. Oh, she's found something interesting to bark at. Multi-cut. Cut. There and there. Awesome. Bring these guys down. And then let's cut over here. Multi-cut again. Why are we not going to multi-cut? There we go. There and there. And we'll bring that down also. That one and that one. And we'll do the same in the back. Multi-cut there and there. You can just select the edge there, bring that down a little. Okay, bring this guy in. Create the geometry between the legs. That out just a little. And then we're going to create kind of the cup in the front. There we go. See, we're starting to get there. Okay, so before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's see how we're doing here. Okay. So we want to bring these guys together, snap that together, snap this one together. Now we have another one over there that I think we're going to have to cut. Before we do that, let's bring these guys together. So snap this one, select that one, snap it over there, and select that one, snap it down there. All right, so now you do some edge loop cutting here. So we're going to go multi-cut, starting right over here, here, there. Cool. All right. So you need to have it be a little bit rounded. All right. Then we're going to, oops, oh, that's how we did it. The disk. Accidentally created a shape. You just want to add a little vert over there. And we're going to take this guy over here, snap it down there, and put it right down on there. Now we just have that little thing going there. So we want to fill that hole. Now, a fill hole also behaves a little strangely. Let's make sure that we have all of our verts snapped. So we're going to go over here, we're going to delete by type, history, and then we're going to go to edit mesh, merge, over there, 0.1, merge. All right, so fill hole often doesn't work for me. Ka-ching, and it just did. Huzzah. Let's also save as another iteration. So we're at 1. Let's do 2. Okay. And then let's also do a cut to kind of create the cup a little bit more. That down. Okay. So let's look at our side view here. Okay, so I've just been going along here and I haven't been actually looking over here. So I noticed that there are some issues with the crotch relating to the reference. So now I want to get the crotch and the reference to be similar. So let's bring that down. Let's bring the front out a little more. And let's bring these center verts. Hold down X. There we go. All right, so now that's starting to be a little bit more accurate. I don't want those two guys to be that far away. So now what I did right there, you'll notice I snapped an axis together. So I held on to V, and then I held on to this axis, and then I moved it right over that one vert. So I moved them right next to each other. Okay. So let's do some more back here on the back and get things a little bit more rounded. Oh yeah, Hildy? Okay, getting close. Almost done with the whole body here. And let's do a little cut right in there. Yeah. All right. So now we'll take that. Now, if this bridge doesn't work, then we're just going to have to snap. Oh, it did. Excellent. Great. And cool. Nope. Multi-cut over there, over there, cut there. All right. So now we really essentially have the whole body done. And we can probably add a little bit more of a cut along here. Okay, can't do that because I think that we need to snap some verts together. So let's go over here, delete by type history, go over here, and then merge. Multi-cut there, there, and there. We want to fix that face. Nope. Okay. Let's also make all of them soft. There we go. Now you notice what I did was I used something from the shelf, and I should show you guys how to do that in the next class. Now we're also noticing that there's an issue right here. These, you can see there's a problem with those verts. I'm gonna have to fix those later, but that is definitely an issue that we can fix later. All right, so we are essentially done with the whole body of the character. We can go over here. We can go in and change some of these verts, move some stuff around so it's a little bit more rounded. Again, don't make too many modifications while in subdiv mode because you'll get some funny results. Let's add another line right along there. Keep in mind also that when you are making these edge loops and everything, that you have to think about animating and how that's going to work. So if you don't have any experience with animating, then you're not sure why a lot of these cuts are being made, and they may seem really kind of arbitrary, but they are not. There is definitely a function. All right, so if we display all, should see the other side there. And our little cup looks a little strange. But for now, I think that's pretty good. Okay, there we go. So now in the next video, we're going to work on the hands and the feet. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video.